Hi guys, and welcome to another video where we look to see whether existing gimbals on the market will be able to fit the GoPro Hero5 Black. On the bench we have the Zhiyun Z1 Evolution, so we'll see whether or not that would be possible. Now, one of the main reasons it's quite promising in terms of this gimbal is for the fact that the gimbal is capable of carrying the weight of a Hero 4 with a backpack. Now that together combined weighs 120 grams. The new Hero5 Black weighs 120 grams. So the gimbal itself should be able to sustain the actual weight of it. It's whether or not we can actually physically get it mounted, because as we've seen in other videos, the form factor is different on the new Hero5 Black. So this is a slightly bigger camera, and for that reason it will make life a little bit more difficult in terms of the mounting. So basically the conclusion that I've come to on this is that you can actually get away with mounting it. There are a few caveats to it. So the way that we do it is we don't use the front fixing clip because that's too small. Unfortunately it won't fit. However, we do use the thumb screws. So we put the thumb screws in place. If you then slide the camera in, you can see that there is a reasonable fit. There is a small gap, but there's enough so it's not moving around too much. So that's all good there in that respect. So there's not too much movement there. Then all we need to do is basically get ourselves a rubber band, of which I have one here, and then we hook the rubber band onto the rear brass thumb screw like so, run it all the way around the back, and we hook it to the front one. And by doing that, we've basically just strapped it on. Now obviously that's not as secure as it would have been if it was using the clip. There is the issue that it could fall sideways, but when you're thinking about that, bear in mind that whenever you've got this turned on, you're going to have the stabilization, so it's not going to be slopping left and right, and that's the case with all of these gimbals. If you wanted an alternative, if you felt that was insecure, what you can do is you can actually mount the gimbal, the GoPro the other way round. So same method of doing it, but you put the auto rotate mode on, and then you put it this way round, and by doing that you've then put the rubber band around here, and that means it won't fall sideways. Much better option if you're intending to carry it about on the gimbal. So with that said, certainly fitment, in terms of physical fitment, we can actually do something with it. So what I'll do now is I'll get to another view and we'll test to see whether or not the gimbal will actually turn on and operate as it should do with the Hero5 Black mounted to it. Okay, so let's see whether the Zhiyun Z1 Evolution will power on and work correctly. So we turn the power on, hold the button down, and as you can see it's kicked into life. No sign of motor squeal, no noises, no issues there. You can see that the horizon isn't perfect, but that is something that we can eke out because there is a very small gap between the camera and the frame. That's probably the reason for that. Obviously that means that you can do the tilt, but as you can see, the actual functionality of the gimbal is fine, and there's no squealy motion or anything like that. So all looking very good for the Zhiyun Z1. One note should be mentioned, obviously this is the accessory cable that's plugged in the bottom. That is a mini USB, so that is not going to be able to fit with the GoPro Hero 5. So because this is a USB-C, that's not going to be an option. Whether you could put an adapter in, maybe, maybe not. I would probably avoid it at the moment, but that's basically the results on the Zhiyun Z1 Evolution. And we can see with a very simple rubber band fix, you will be able to use a brand new Hero 5 camera with it without many problems.